Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the IDH number 11042B 3NL. This is a 2-inch classic solid brass surface bolt. It is a solid bar as well. This is a solid brass item with a polished finish, and that's what the 3 stands for in the part number. And the NL means no lacquer. Very nice quality item. Weighs about 1/10 of a pound, a little bit more actually. Is going to include a rim strike, and it's going to include a mortise strike, and of course a total of they're going to give you 6 screws. I don't really think you're going to need more than 4 for this. Not brass, by the way, which is a good thing. Brass screws are very prone to stripping in the hands of someone who doesn't anticipate that the base material is quite soft. So they'll use a little stronger screw with something like this so that you don't unintentionally split it. Now, 2-inch. Let's take a look at the dimensional properties of this bolt. Okay, 2 inches the overall length. The overall width, about 9/16. Okay. Overall height of the body, it's about about a 1/4 inch. Overall, with the knob itself, it's about 13/16. Overall projection of the bolt, 1/2 inch. Okay. The rim strike, we're going to go over these 2 strikes in a moment where they're used. Overall depth, 1 inch. Overall width, about 11/16. The mortise strike, about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Now the rim strike. This is going to be something very typically and commonly installed on the pull side of an opening, so that you're going to mortise this to the head or to the jamb or possibly to the sill, where the bolt will literally surface mount to the pull side of a door or maybe a window, and it will look just like that in its installation. Okay. You could also mortise this, I suppose, but it would be unusual to use this as a mortise strike. It's really when you are pulling the door and you're mounting it on that pull side. A common application would be, imagine you have a residential application, you have a door which swings into the kitchen, but when you open the door, you go down a set of stairs to a basement. You've got toddlers, you're going to add a very small bolt to the top of the door, right up at the top and into the header, to keep that door from being opened. This would be a common item for that. Or maybe horizontally would be a little bit better. I think horizontally would be the way that I would go with that installation, like that. Okay. Now imagine if you had that same scenario, but the door swung into the stairwell. You would then mount this onto the face of the door and this on the stop. So your installation will look like that. Okay. So this mortise strike is like a push side mount. Very common. Windows. You might have a pair of custom wood windows that swing out, like casement windows. You might put a couple of small bolts on the inside or the push side, and in that scenario you would certainly use this strike. Now mortise is the idea for both of these. Given the fact that they're so thin, you're probably going to be quite tempted to simply surface mount the material. And given the fact that they're 50 thousandths thick, or 49 thousandths on that rim strike, yeah, they're both the same thickness, 49 thousandths. That's not very much material to mortise, so you're probably just going to simply surface mount the item. Now, there is a link below this video to a document called Product Page, which is just like a product brochure. It will show you all of the different bolts that IDH has, the different lengths, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch, and 8 inch. In this, what we would call a modern design bolt, modern style bolt. Lots of different finishes as well, and we're going to pull that up next. Okay, all the different finishes we are looking at. You're going to have 003 for polished brass, 005 for antique brass, 008 for bright copper, 014 for bright nickel, 015 for satin nickel. You'll do an 019 for matte black, an 026 for polished chrome, an 08A for antique copper, okay, bright copper and antique copper, a 10B for oil rub bronze, a 15A for antique nickel, 2060 for satin chrome, and 3NL for polished brass, no lacquer. That's got to be every bit of 10 different finishes that are listed there. Now back to the link to the product brochure, you will also see sister products related to bolts. The chain guards that you'll see on residential applications and hotel door applications. But when you get to page 2 and 3 and 4, you are going to see the long surface bolts that you would use on quite large or tall doors, decorative bolts everywhere from about 8-inch all the way out to 36-inch. And they may even have longer lengths as well, although their product data only tells us up to 36-inch. Very nice quality material in those bolts from IDH. Now, what you'll find, and by the way, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up all things IDH hardware related, and a link to their website, but a link to that full product catalog where you'll find the comprehensive offering of their solid brass hardware. The hallmark of IDH is this: they manufacture solid brass hardware that in the last 10 or 20 years have become all but impossible at times to source because the original manufacturer simply stopped making the material as a result of lack of demand. That's number one. You're going to find stuff that you won't. You're going to find something you need that you can find from no one else. IDH. Excellent quality fit and finish. The only smudge mark on there is just my fingerprints. Excellent quality packaging is a hallmark of theirs as well. The material arrives to you in heavy-duty, typically Ziploc bags like this, of very good quality material. What that means is they isolate all of the individual piece parts from each other so that when it arrives to you, you don't have strikes touching the bolt or screws loose in a package. And that's very often a cause for damage where there's improper, inadequate interior packaging. And IDH figured that problem out day one, it seems to me. Their material always comes well shipped in its original packaging. It simply gives you the idea that they have and take great pride in their material. Quality, fit and finish, workmanship, etc. Finally, if you have any questions on the IDH, this is their part number 1102B in a 3NL finish, 2-inch solid brass modern style surface bolt, or any other IDH product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.